If you are looking to make a very quick and easy recipe and a very budget-friendly recipe, but still get plenty of protein, canned chicken is where it's at. We always have canned chicken on hand in our pantry, and today I am sharing with you the ultimate guide to using canned chicken. There really are so many possibilities. You probably already make chicken salad using canned chicken and maybe throw it in a soup, but I've got so many other ways and recipes on how to use canned chicken, so stick around. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. I've just been in the mood for Alfredo for quite a while. This recipe is called Alfredo stuffed shells. Okay, to get started, let's preheat our oven to 350. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is get a pot of water up to boiling, and then we're just going to use this entire container. It calls for 12 ounces of the jumbo shells, and this tells you to boil these for 10 to 11 minutes. We are gonna be baking these for a little bit as well, so I'm probably gonna do these in the water for about 8 minutes. If you have never used canned chicken, just know that it has a good bit of sodium in there. You wanna drain off all of the juices. I've heard too that you can rinse it to get some of the sodium gone, but what I just do generally is I don't add any extra salt to anything that I'm making when I use canned chicken. For this recipe, because we are going to be stuffing this into shells, I do want to go through and just kind of shred this up a little more so than it is already in the can. Right now it's kind of in chunks, so I'm just going to go through and do that so that it's easier to put inside of our shells. Okay, let's start mixing our filling. I've got a large bowl here. You need a 15-ounce container of ricotta cheese. Isn't that so pleasant? It's so appetizing to see it just plop out like that. We need 1 egg, a teaspoon each of basil and oregano. I recently put all of my spices in these nice jars here, and they came with these labels. I love these. I also did not put the shaker tops on top because I never use that. I'm either reaching in there with a teaspoon or I'm just pouring it out in my hand and then just kind of sprinkling over. So anyway, so a teaspoon each of oregano and basil. Whoa, I got a little excited there. There we go. And then earlier I shredded up some of this Parmesan cheese. We need about half a cup of it now. So I'm just gonna put that in here. This is about 3/4 a cup of Parmesan cheese that I grated. Okay, so now we're just going to mix all of this together. Now let's add our chicken in, now that that's good and combined. You need about 2 cups of cooked chicken shredded. I believe the canned that I had is maybe a little less than 2 cups, but it should be fine. Let's stir that in. Okay, let's just set this to the side for now, and we're gonna go grab our shells. Now it's time to assemble all of our shells. I've got this jar of Alfredo sauce. You can use whatever jar, or you can home make some too. I've homemade Alfredo sauce that I love, but we're taking the easy route today. You need about 2 cups of Alfredo sauce. I'm gonna add about 3/4 of a cup. Now that that's on the bottom, we're gonna start stuffing our shells. If your shells are too hot to handle, like if you just got them out and drained them, you can run some cold water over them really quickly. But I'm gonna take my shell and about 2 tablespoons of the mixture and stuff them into the shell. This is gonna be a messy one. And take that and just set it down here in the pan. And I'm just gonna continue to do that until my pan is full of all the shells. I've got them all stuffed. I have just a few shells left over, but not many. But that's as many that would fit in here, and I am out of stuffing. So that tells me I'm done. Now we're just gonna take the remaining Alfredo sauce and just pour it over the tops of all of our shells. This is the first time I've ever done stuffed shells like this. They all fell over, which, I mean, I don't guess they would balance very easily, but you can tell they're all tilted. We're gonna take about a cup of mozzarella cheese and just sprinkle that over top. And then we're gonna take the remainder of our Parmesan cheese, which is about 1/4 a cup, and just spread that over top. Okay, let's cover this with some aluminum foil. And this is going in a 300, we'll do that again. This is going in a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. Okay, it has been 20 minutes. Now what you wanna do is just remove the foil from on top and bake it for another 10 minutes. You want your cheese to get a little golden on top. Okay, so this is gonna go back in for 10 more minutes, and then it's gonna be time to eat. I cannot tell you how good it smells. So mine didn't get too golden brown. There's a few spots that got a little golden, but these are done, and I am ready to dig in. Cole. I'm in Steven's spot. Steven went to lunch with his mom today. He's back, but obviously he's not hungry because he just ate lunch. So I'm gonna do a taste test. Cole is in there eating it. Cole?
Yeah.
Any thumbs up?
I would give you 3 thumbs up, but I can't do that.
He likes it. So now I'm gonna try it. That is a great twist on your classic chicken Alfredo. I feel like it's a little bit quicker to make it this way, and I love serving it in the shells, but it's got your classic Alfredo flavor. It's got that basil and oregano in there. The fresh parsley on top is a good touch, and then the mozzarella, the Parmesan cheese. This is good and very, very simple to make. I definitely give this 2 thumbs up. Cole just came to me with an idea. He's off camera. He doesn't want to be on camera. But he said, while I was eating this, I felt like it had the consistency of mashed potatoes, kind of. The pasta is not overcooked. That's for sure. It's not mushy. But he's then had a light bulb moment, and he said, what if you bring Alfredo sauce into mashed potatoes or baked potatoes? Which one did
mashed
you?
Potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. That's not a bad idea.
You need to try that.
He said, you need to try that. I gotta keep that in the back of my brain. And I'm about to make us some lunch, and this is a really quick and easy lunch idea. We are gonna call these Pesto Caesar chicken wraps, and I am taking a huge help with this. It is a Pesto Caesar salad mix. So I've got this, I've got my canned chicken, and then I've got these carb balance spinach wraps. I really do enjoy these. So lunch is gonna be like that. Did I just hear a cricket? Steven and Cole have killed sprickets lately, which if you don't know what a spricket is, it's a spider / cricket. It's just a cricket, but it looks like a spider and it hops. They're gnarly looking. Ugh. Anyway, we've had a couple of them and I swear I just heard one. Okay, I'm moving on. So we need to drain this chicken really well. Let's toss our salad together. There's never enough Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna add a little bit of Parmesan cheese because I have some on hand. So I'm gonna throw this in there, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more too because I love Parmesan. But that's personal preference. Let's add in some little croutons. It's like she knew I was talking about Parmesan cheese. Grace, you gonna talk? Oh. All right, I'm just gonna grate a little more Parmesan cheese on. It's happening, you'll hear her. Here, I'm gonna break up some of this chicken. Sometimes they're in really large chunks. Let's add our chicken in. And let's toss before we throw our Pesto Caesar dressing on. And then we're just gonna throw these in a wrap. Talk about an easy dinner idea, lunch idea. It doesn't get much easier than that. It's just opening up some packages and throwing them together. Oh, that smells very good. Now that we have all of our dressing in there, I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. That's personal preference. I really do like these wraps. I don't know if you've ever tried them before. I'm not too big on worrying about how many carbs are in it, but I do like this Carb Balance brand. I say that and it's getting stuck together. Come on, there we go. Kind of messed it up, I think. That's all right. I wish I had some tomato. I keep forgetting to get tomatoes at the grocery store because I was so used to us having them in our garden, but our garden is done. It is the fall. Let's cut this in half. And there you have it, friends. This is a very quick 5-minute recipe that is perfect for lunch or dinner. You can just pair it with just about anything. I'm gonna grab some chips, and this is our lunch today.
What you got? Oh yeah.
Be careful, it'll fall
Yours
out.
look better than my half.
Well, you can grab this half. Oh, he took me up on that. He took my half.
I did.
We have blessed the food. Now we're about to bless our mouths and our taste buds with some yumminess.
Wow, that's good.
That Pesto Caesar dressing, that's next level.
That is really good. I love Caesar dressing. It's like my favorite dressing of all time. But then a little extra pesto, that's very interesting.
It's good.
I love that.
So if you can't find that particular salad mix, the Pesto Caesar, add spoonful of pesto into your Caesar dressing and mix it around.
I was just saying it's funny because I don't know which one I want more of, the Caesar or the pesto.
You get both.
They're so good. Or get both. You're just like, ooh, you get some of the Caesar and you're like, ah. And then you get some of the pesto and you're like, oh, I want some of that. It's great.
He's very descriptive today. All right, I'm making him another wrap for him to take.
Oh, that's a big one there. That's one of them. That's one of them fall apart ones.
Yeah, you're going to have to hold it.
You have to hold it.
You're going to have to babysit that one.
You got to do this number. You got to go.
Using some canned chicken for a dill pickle chicken salad. I picked up these croissant sandwich buns at Sam's. They're so good. And they're perfect for chicken salad. I recently went to a chicken salad chick, and that's how they serve theirs on a croissant. Y'all, it's next level. So that's what we're doing today. To get started, I'm going to dice just a little bit of this onion. Ideally, I would have red onion, but my red onion had gone bad, and that's my bad on that. I'm not gonna use quite as much because regular onion tends to be a little bit stronger, as I'm sure you're very well aware. And then I also need about 1/4 cup of chopped dill pickles. I had these hamburger chips on hand. You can use whatever, the baby holes, the slices, however you wanna do it. You're just gonna chop these up. So let's chop this up, and then we'll also need just a little bit of the dill pickle juice to go in there too. So we just need about 1 tablespoon of the dill pickle juice, not a lot at all. Now we just need to drain this can of chicken. And we're just gonna combine everything here in this glass container. First, I'm gonna add in our chicken, and I am going to just kind of reach in here and shred it up just a little bit more. Now we're gonna add in our dill pickles and our onion, about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, our tablespoon of pickle juice, and then I always eyeball it when it comes to the mayonnaise. You can do about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup, just depending on your preference on how creamy you want it. It doesn't get much easier than that. Now you can use this on sandwiches for several days during the week. Let's give this a taste test and see what we think. That is really good. I'm just gonna put it in the fridge for about an hour just so it can chill, and it'll be ready for sandwiches later. Today, to use my canned chicken, I'm gonna be making a very quick and easy lunch. This is called 7-can chicken tortilla soup. Y'all, it can't get any simpler than this. Let me show you. The recipe calls for chicken broth. I thought I had chicken broth. I didn't, so we're just gonna go with what we have. We're gonna use beef broth today. I looked over and I was like, what is that stain on my lampshade here? Yeah, that's a moth. So hold please, I'll be right back. The hardest part of this recipe, opening all the cans. That's as hard as it gets, y'all. Okay, let's do this. So I've got a can of chicken breast here. I did drain it really well. I'm adding it in first so I can kind of break it up a little bit. And of course, all of these recipes, you can just use freshly cooked chicken. That's totally fine. I'm just showing you how to use canned chicken if you were in a pinch. Next, I've got a can of pinto beans that I drained and rinsed, a can of sweet corn that I drained, a can of black beans drained and rinsed, a can of diced tomatoes. It said to drain it, but I'm not going to drain this one. This is the petite diced. That's just personal preference. Now the recipe calls for 1/2 of this size of a can of green enchilada sauce, but my store only had the large one, so I'll just use 1/2 of this. And then this is where you would use a can of chicken broth, but we're gonna go with a little bit of beef broth. About 14 ounces. And lastly, taco seasoning. I make my own. I've got that recipe somewhere. I'll link that below. We're just gonna stir this up and put it on the stove and just let it simmer for 15 or 20 minutes. It doesn't get any easier than that. Okay, it's been like 15 minutes. This has been simmering here on the stove. I turned it down to low once I got it up to temperature. I've got several toppings to put on top. Let's eat some lunch. Okay, it's just me doing the taste test. The other two are busy. I've got my bowl here. It's hot, so I'm gonna put it in my little, what is this called? Like little trivet, little caddy? I don't know. You can use it in the microwave. Keeps you from burning yourself. Also, if you have one of these and you have a bowl of ice cream and it's super cold, put it in this too. It helps. I am gonna put a little bit of hot sauce on mine too, just because that's what I like. I am pleasantly surprised. Great flavor to that. I like the addition of the cilantro on top, but the chicken is perfectly shredded in here. That green enchilada sauce is what makes it, I'm pretty sure. You cannot tell that this was basically dumping cans in a pot and heating it up for 15 minutes. You can't tell. So do yourself a favor and make this for you and your family. They're gonna think you stood at the stove for hours making this for them, but it only took you like 15 minutes. Okay, not too long ago, we made some air fryer chicken nuggets using canned chicken. Today, we are making chicken fritters. So they're larger chicken patties using canned chicken. For this recipe, we're gonna be using two 12.5 ounce cans of chicken. I'm gonna drain both of these really, really well, as in put them in a colander and then put a heavy bowl on top of them and press it down to make sure all of the liquid that I can get out gets out. Okay, we have drained this. Now we're just gonna chop this up a little bit. Gracie Lou definitely smells this chicken. I'm gonna give her a tiny little piece. Was that good? Yeah. So this doesn't have to be super fine, but we just need to chop it up into bigger or smaller chunks than what it is right now. The recipe I found for this says to do them on the stovetop with some vegetable oil, which is totally fine, but we're gonna do them in the air fryer just because I love my air fryer. So let's add this to a bowl. Now we're gonna add in our egg. We just need about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. It's so rude. And then we're gonna add in our seasonings. It says to add a little bit of salt. This chicken is already kind of salty, so I'm just gonna add just a tad bit of salt, not a lot at all. Let's add in some black pepper too. We just need a 1/4 teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder. The tiniest little bit of thyme, I think it says 1/8 of a teaspoon. I mean, tiniest little bit of thyme. And I'm just gonna use a fork to combine all of this together. Now the recipe calls for plain breadcrumbs. I don't have any. I just have Italian style, so that's what we're going with. We're gonna add in a 1/4 cup of these. Last thing we need to do is, in this shallow bowl here, we're gonna pour some more breadcrumbs, and I need to open up a new one. Okay, this is just to coat the outside. You need maybe another cup or so of breadcrumbs, but we're gonna start to shape these. I think it's supposed to make 6 of the little patties or the fritters, but we'll just get what we get. And the recipe says to get it in a kind of like a little hockey puck shape. We're gonna coat it in the additional breadcrumbs. And I'm gonna do this, hopefully we're gonna get 6 of these. They're still a little wet, which I'm guessing that those breadcrumbs in there is gonna help soak that up. It's hard to do this. They want to come apart. We don't want you to come apart. Okay, I'll be back. I only got 5, which means I made mine too big. Well, shocker. I'm gonna preheat my air fryer to 400. It is April 8th, which means if you were in South Carolina, good chances you looked like this around 3 o'clock today. I know I did. We were at about 84% totality here. So there was just like a little crescent moon left of the sun. It's pretty neat. Last time we were in total totality. Last time we were in the path of totality, not total totality. So last time it got pretty dark here. It got darker here today, but it wasn't as dark as last time, but it was still really cool. Let me spray the bottom with some oil. I love my little mister here. And then we're gonna pop these in, being careful first of all not to break them, but second of all not to burn myself in this hot air fryer. Oh, that one's trying to fall apart. Don't fall apart. We're gonna spray the tops of them so they get super crispy, like just a light mist. And I have no idea how long to cook these. One of them fell apart. So let's do this at 400. Let's look at them after about 5 minutes. I really don't know how long it's gonna take, but we'll see. It's been 5 minutes. Okay, they're starting to get pretty crispy. I'm gonna give them another couple of minutes though. I'd like to see a little more crisp on there, you know? All right, they're a little more crispy now. I think they're done. I don't wanna dry them out. So let's test one out. You ready? I'm ready. I'm gonna use my little tiny spatula that a sweet subscriber sent to me and see if I can get this out. Ow, ow, ow. Without burning myself, which I just did, and without it falling apart. Maybe if you don't bang it down on there, it won't fall apart. Oh no, let's try another one. That one was better. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. And yes, these are not huge. I could have made them a little bit bigger, maybe added a little more breadcrumbs to make them stay together. Let's see if I can do that. And then add a little bit of Chick-fil-A sauce to it too. You know, you picking up what I'm putting down? Now look at that. I want you, just look at that. That's perfect. I got chicken fritters.
All right, let's give it a try.
Okay. I made it into a little sandwich.
That's good.
Is that good?
That's really good.
Can I have a bite? Okay.
That is really good. A lot of good flavor on there.
I ain't mad at that.
I like the texture of the crust on the outside. Good flavor on that as well.
It'd be good with some pickles on it too.
Yeah, it would be good. Yeah, you definitely need some toppings on this for sure.
Yeah, pickle I said.
Oh, on there.
There. That good?
You did a good job.
That's one chicken recipe down.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's do another one. Okay, for our next recipe, this is called Can Mexican Casserole. This is so quick and easy. You just mix all the ingredients together, put them in the dish, put them in the oven. For this recipe, I am going to be using my other can of chicken, but you could definitely use rotisserie chicken if you wanted to. Let's get started by preheating our oven to 375. I've got this 11 by 17 dish. I will spray this before we put our mixture over there, but our mixture is going to consist of 1 can of chicken or 2 cups of cooked chicken. I did drain this. Let's go through and break it up a little bit. Next, we're gonna be adding in 2 cups of cooked rice. You can do white rice, brown rice, however you want to do it. It needs to already be cooked. I have a 15-ounce can of corn that I've already drained. Let's add that in. Next, we're going to add in a can of petite diced tomatoes. This is a 14.5-ounce can, and you do not want to drain this first. A small can, 4.5 ounces of green chilies. Again, don't drain this. You need 1 cup of taco sauce. That's this entire thing. This is 8 ounces. So I chose the medium. If you don't want to go that route, if you want to go a little bit milder, feel free. Okay, let's mix all of that together before it goes over into our casserole dish. I'm gonna spray my casserole dish with a little bit of olive oil and dump this straight over into it. And this is just gonna bake at 375 for 20 minutes. That's it. You don't have to cover it. And then you can put whatever toppings you would like on top, and dinner is ready. Nope, it ain't ready. Cheese. I always forget the cheese. Why do I forget the cheese though? Okay, so you could mix some of the cheese in, or just do like I'm doing, and I'm just doing a layer of cheese on top. I have the Mexican blend cheese. I was like, something's missing. And then right as I was about to put it in the oven, I know what's missing. Cheese. Now it goes in the oven for 20 minutes, uncovered. I am letting it cool. It just came out of the oven. It's very hot. And I'm just gonna prep some things for the top. We have this avocado that's really ripe that we can use. And I've got some cherry tomatoes that I just washed. You can do whatever toppings you would like. My son, he doesn't want to be on camera yet again, but he took 1 bite of this and he goes, and I said, oh my gosh, is it not good? He said, I'm just kidding. So what do you think? 1, 2?
It's actually really, really good. I like the different flavors in there.
Okay.
Lots of different flavors. They really, they just punch your mouth, really.
Okay, well good. I'm glad you like it.
A good punch, though.
A good punch. A good punch in the mouth, not a bad punch in the mouth. Thank you for defining that. Yeah, you have a good day. This looks so delicious. Oh my goodness. I love that the rice kind of soaked up all of those juices. The rice is super soft. Even though I used the medium spice taco sauce, this does not really have a kick to it. It's pretty mild, but I do love all the flavors together, and I love the toppings on top. I feel like that really kind of takes it over the top. You can put some sour cream, some salsa even on here. But this is a great quick meal for one of those nights that you don't have a lot of time, but you want something really flavorful that everybody's gonna like. Today we are making a chicken salad, but not just any chicken salad, friends. This is a jalapeno popper chicken salad. It's got bacon, it's got jalapenos, it's got cheese. It's got cream cheese. Don't tell Stephen. So the recipe called for green onions, and I totally forgot to get some at the store, so we're using red onion in place of it. It doesn't really matter. And then it also calls for 3 jalapenos, but we need to seed them. And I am putting on my gloves for that so that I don't seed these with bare hands and then touch my eyes and regret my decision all day long. These are jalapenos from our garden that I froze. I've never tried using them before, so hopefully they're good. I just thawed them out really quickly, and I'm gonna scrape these seeds out. They feel kind of watery. Let me know what's the trick to freezing jalapenos. I mean, I've already frozen all of them, so at this point, if I did it wrong, I did it wrong, but they feel kind of watery. Good thing is they're gonna be mixed in with everything, so, and they're gonna be diced really small, so I don't think it'll matter. We need about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Okay, I got our secret ingredient out and I read the recipe like 4 times because I am scarred, because Steven already doesn't like this ingredient. And one time I added a whole block in when I was only supposed to add in 2 ounces. It was a thing, y'all, it was a thing. So it calls for 4 ounces, so a half a block of that. I grabbed the mayo out. Good news, mayo smells normal again to me. If you've been around for a minute, we got sick. And after the sickness, things smelled very strange and tasted very strange, but that only lasted for 4 or 5 days. So we're back to being normal, but everything is prepped and ready. Let's assemble. The recipe calls for 4 cups of chicken, and this is only 3 cups, I just realized. So I might actually go less on this right here, just so it doesn't overpower anything and I don't have an unhappy camper. It does say that you need shredded chicken, so I'm gonna shred this up a little bit instead of having it in chunks. I drained the chicken really well, and this recipe does call for some salt and pepper. I'll probably just add pepper because I didn't rinse the chicken and it has enough salt as a preservative, I guess, already in there that you don't need to add extra. At least that's been my opinion. Now let's add in our jalapeno. Ooh, let me rinse my hands. You would also add in 5 sliced green onions at this point. I'm adding in our red onion that I diced, our 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and bacon, baby. It says to crumble it. Mine is still kind of hot. I'm gonna chop mine up. I'll be right back. Okay, it calls for 10 slices of bacon, but my bacon is extra thick bacon. So I'm gonna go with this first, and then if I feel like I need to add the other 4 slices, I will. Okay, let's mix all of this together. Now we're gonna add in our mayo. You need about a half a cup. I'm just gonna eyeball this, okay? And you add in your secret ingredient. Okay, that's all I'm going with. So I'm leaving a little bit, so it's not quite half. And then it says salt and pepper to taste. Let me grab pepper. If I need to add more mayo or anything, I always can do that afterwards, but we're gonna start here. I don't want there to be any chunks of the secret ingredient because that'll be the first bite he gets. And then I'm gonna add a little more mayo. I love to serve these on croissants that I get from like the bakery at the grocery store, but mine only had the mini croissants. So this time we're gonna do pita pockets. You can do it on a wrap too, like those spinach wraps that I used for the pesto Caesar chicken wraps, and see what I think. It definitely has the heat from the jalapeno. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I was wondering if it had enough heat. It does, just so you know. So if you like a lot of heat, get red jalapenos. I'm just gonna eat this piece of bacon and I'll be right back. Oh, my battery is about to die. Hang on.
Oh, 1 piece of power.
We are back with full power.
Yeah, this looks great. It's like a little pocket.
Uh-huh, it's a little pita pocket.
Little pita pocket. Tink.
Tink. Tinky winky.
That's amazing. Spicy bacon, chicken, cheese, onions. I like it cold too. Man, there's just a lot of really good ingredients in there. Is that mayonnaise too? Little Duke's mayonnaise?
Yeah, a little mayonnaise.
I do.
A little cream cheese. Did you hear me?
What? What's up, cream cheese?
I said cream cheese.
Why'd you need to put cream cheese in there?
Because it's a jalapeno popper recipe.
Oh, okay.
It helps kind of tone down the jalapeno.
I don't really get the cream cheese. I would
There's
never
not a ton.
have-
It's not a whole block.
I would never have guessed that. I don't taste it.
We did good, friends.
I don't taste it, which is why it's good. Just kidding.
I think it might be my favorite chicken salad I've ever made.
This is definitely one of the best. I mean, I can't think I've ever had a chicken salad that has as many ingredients as this one has.
Right. And has so much of a punchy flavor.
I mean, I guess I'd have to give it first place. I mean,
What we're making right now is called Easy Chicken Sandwich Melts. It sounds really good and very easy. It takes about 15 minutes to make, so let's get started. To get started, we're gonna preheat our oven to 350. For this recipe today, since I'm only doing half, I'm just going to be using 1 can of chicken breast. I do need to drain it. To my bowl, I'm gonna add our can of chicken. I do need to break it up a little bit with a fork. You don't wanna completely shred it, but just any of the really large pieces, kind of break that down a little bit. We're gonna add in a little bit of mayo, probably about 1/4 cup, maybe a little more than 1/4 cup, and a few seasonings, some paprika, a little bit of black pepper. The recipe says to add in some salt, but I feel like canned chicken already has plenty of salt in it. We're gonna forego adding extra salt. And lastly, just a little bit of garlic powder. Let's stir all of that up. I've got a tomato here. I am gonna dice it. We're only gonna use about half of the tomato. At this point, you could add some chopped cilantro. I'm gonna forego that because I want Cole to be able to like this. He's not a huge fan of that. That's my son if you're new here. But we also just need a little bit of shredded mild cheddar cheese. This is not quite half of that block. Let's stir all of that to combine. And you could be done at this point if you want it to be, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna add just a little bit of sriracha sauce. This is purely to taste, so you can leave it out or add a little bit as you please. Now let's go over to our French bread. I said let's go over to our French bread, but I just brought it back over here. But you just wanna cut this up, slice it. I'll make some garlic bread with that later. Let's lay this out on a baking sheet. Okay, so now you're just gonna put your spread on top of each piece that you have here. I'm using French bread. You can use whatever loaf, like sturdy loaf bread that you have. Okay, I have a little bit left, so I'm gonna go ahead and slice 2 more slices. Okay, that was the perfect amount. So this made just a little more than half of a loaf of French bread. These are going in at 350 for 8 minutes. There we go, 8 minutes. I normally use my timer here, but do you notice? She has deceased. We have a new one on order. It's okay. I saved some just for you. Are you happy? Was he good? It's time to give these a shot. You could definitely put some more fresh tomato on top or some cilantro. We're just gonna go as is. Cheers. That is delicious. But I wanted mine to have just a little more spice, so more sriracha for sure. I love the crunch of the crust of the French bread. I love how cheesy and like stringy that cheese is. The diced tomatoes warmed through are really great. Next time I would use smoked paprika, I think, just to give it a little more of a smoky flavor, just personal preference. But these are a great lunch or dinner, or even like for a brunch or something, for some little appetizer type thing, because each individual one, it's not that much, so this is good. You should try it. If you are running out of time, you don't have a lot of time to make dinner or lunch, and you have a can of chicken, you have some tortillas, you have some salsa, and you have some cheese, you can make some salsa quesadillas really quickly. First things first, I'm just gonna open and drain this can of chicken. I'm gonna add this chicken into this bowl and just kind of chop it up with my fork as I go. Now, this is such a simple recipe. Add maybe half a cup of salsa. You know what else I want? And I just happen to have some green chilies, because why not? I don't think I'll use the whole can, maybe half the can, but that'll add just some extra flavor in there. I love diced green chilies. And you could do these on the stovetop if you wanted to, but I'm gonna break out my griddle. I love my griddle because then I can do more than one at a time. If you don't have a griddle, I highly recommend this particular one. It's by the brand Dash. I also have their egg cooker. This griddle goes on sale a few times a year. I think I got it on Prime Day on Amazon one year, and I love it. Not necessary, but I'm gonna melt a little bit of butter because I like to make my tortilla, like the quesadilla, super crispy. So I'm gonna melt some butter and brush that on my tortillas. I said melt, but I really meant kind of soften-ish. So we're gonna brush that on here and put the butter side down. And I'm gonna do that a couple more times. So now let's just fill 1/2 with the salsa chicken mixture. And then I'm quickly gonna add some 4 cheese Mexican blend cheese on top. And let's fold these over. I may have filled these a little too much. Just like I made the little chicken fritters a little too big. I got a little too excited about filling these. Let me get a bigger spatula. Can we flip it? Yes, we can. All right, these are done. I'm gonna try and remove them without making too big of a mess. There we go. That's what I do best.
That looks good.
Here, get you some sour cream
Okay.
to dip them in. Oh, it's hot.
Hot to trot.
Hot to trot. Think. That ain't bad at all.
That's good. Almost like a Rotel kind of vibe to the little kick of spice. Not too bad.
Which I've made chicken quesadillas with Rotel before, so that works too.
A little crunchy on the outside there.
That'd be a good lunch.
Oh, yeah.
While we sit down and watch Downton Abbey. We love us some Downton Abbey.
I'm going to eat the rest of it.
This is called cracked out chicken and rice. And if you are familiar, when you hear the term cracked out, that means it has chicken, bacon, ranch. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm making all 3 of these recipes on the same day. So we're gonna have plenty of food for the next couple of days, but I'm also gonna be taking some of this, like I'm halving these and putting them in containers, and I'm gonna take them to my friend Tabby, who lives right down the road, so that they can have dinner and possibly lunch for tomorrow too. You're welcome. You like bacon? Oh, you want more. I don't have any more. It's empty. Okay, to get started, let's preheat the oven to 350. This recipe is very simple. However, you do need to pre-cook your rice and pre-cook your bacon. All right, to start out, I've got 4 cups of cooked rice that I'm gonna add to this large bowl. There we go. You need 2 cups or so of chicken, so you could use a can, or you could even do 2 cans. I feel with this amount of rice, you could probably get away with doing 2 cans. This is just a rotisserie chicken that was actually from September, I believe, but I peeled or shredded it and froze it. We need 1 can of cream of chicken soup. We need an 8-ounce container of sour cream. Now you do need some ranch dressing mix. You could use half of a pack, or that equals out to about 1.5 tablespoons of the ranch powder, so that's what we're using. You don't need the entire thing, just half of it. You need 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, 1/2 cup of bacon that has been cooked and chopped, and you can either use chicken broth or water just for extra flavor. I'm gonna be using chicken broth. You need about 1/2 cup. Let's just mix all of that together. Okay, so I've got a 9x13 dish. I'm just gonna spray it with a little bit of olive oil spray. And we're gonna dump our rice mixture right in here and spread it out. This is going in a 350-degree oven for just 20 to 25 minutes. It's not gonna take long. So it may not look the prettiest, but y'all, the smell is out of this world. Right? Right. So I'm just having a very small amount right now because I am still full from the others, but I did put some green onion on top and I'm excited to give this a try. My taste tester has been slacking today. He's at the back of the house, but I know he's not hungry. I'm not hungry right now, quite honestly, but I'm gonna eat this just so that I can taste it for y'all. My house smells so good today. Okay, it's got a little bit of everything in there, I think. I think I saw a piece of bacon go in there. Oh man. The rice is so creamy, it's almost like a risotto. And the ranch is the perfect amount of ranch. It is not overdone, so definitely don't use a whole pack. That is so good. And then the green onion on top is like the perfect combination. This is comfort food. I am here at the house alone. I'm gonna be making a smaller portion than the original recipe. Of course, I will leave the recipe linked below so that if you want to make the full portion, you can. But tonight with our canned chicken, we are having barbecue ranch chicken casserole. It sounds really easy and really yummy. Let's preheat the oven to 350. I am also gonna start heating this water up, and we'll wait for that to come to a boil because we will need to cook our noodles separately and then add it all together. So let's let that come up to a boil. I need to open these cans. I'm gonna be using about half of this can. I'm just gonna freeze the other half. Same with this. I think that's always my hesitation in cutting things in half, is that I don't wanna waste, but I don't have to waste. I can freeze the other half. And then I'm pretty much just gonna use this whole can of green chilies, but let's get all of these open. So I drained this. We don't need to drain the rotel. And then we've got our green chilies. I'm not gonna drain that either. Okay, and now we need to measure out our dressing. So I've got, well, ranch dressing and then our barbecue sauce. I'm just gonna measure it together here in this same thing because it's all going in together. I need about a half a cup of ranch dressing. And then I'm gonna be trying, I've never tried this before. This is the Tennessee Smoke and Whiskey Barbecue. I also got a couple of the other kinds to try, the Carolina kinds, the Carolina Gold and then the Carolina Vinegar, I think. But we're gonna try the Tennessee one today. And we need about a third a cup of this. That's all we need there. Doesn't that look appetizing? So appetizing, you're welcome. Another thing I did was drain this chicken. We just need 1 can of chicken for the amount that I'm making tonight. I drained it and then I also rinsed it in water to get a little extra sodium out of there, because I feel like we're gonna have plenty of seasonings with the ranch and the barbecue, so I just didn't want it to be too salty. Our water is coming up to a boil. I know, there's cheese over there. I haven't given you any yet, have I? We only need about 6 ounces of pasta for the amount that I'm making, so that's a little less than half of this box, ma'am. And we're gonna let that cook to al dente, so probably like 7 minutes or so. I don't know, we're gonna go with 7. 7 seems like a good number. Okay, it took about 9 minutes, but our pasta is done. I'm gonna drain this. First things first. We're going to add our drained pasta to this large bowl, and we're gonna add everything else in here with it. So I've got my can of chicken. Obviously, any of these recipes you can make your own chicken. You don't have to use canned. We're just finding some recipes when you're in a pinch. You don't want to have to cook the chicken. Canned comes in handy. All right, let's dump in our green chilies. About half of this corn, about half of this rotel, and I'm adding some of the juice in there too. It calls for minced onions, so I'm gonna just put a little onion powder in here because I don't keep minced onions on hand. Okay, you can definitely cook bacon, but it does mention in this recipe that if you used bacon bits, like real bacon pieces, not the fake stuff. But you need about a 1/4 cup. You need about a little over a cup of cheese, and I'm gonna reserve some for the top too. And then of course our sauces that look so appetizing. Let's just mix all of this together. Let me go grab a casserole dish. Because it's not a very large amount, I think I can use this oval baker. This came from Sam's Club in a 3-pack. Several years ago. I haven't seen it since, but I love it. Sprayed it with a little bit of olive oil spray. Now I'm just gonna dump this in here. I'm gonna spread that out, and then I'm just gonna top it with the remaining cheese, which is not a ton of it. Oh, that was the perfect amount for this little baker. I don't use this size baking dish often. So this is going in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. It's not gonna take long. Everything is already cooked. We're just heating it through. And this is real life, y'all. Y'all probably hear the dryer and the washer going on in the background. The perks of filming in your kitchen, which is right next to your laundry closet. Let's dig in. I'm gonna actually let this cool for just a second, then we're gonna dig in. It's just me here doing the taste test. The guys will try this a little later. I'm gonna just be really honest. I like this, but I feel like it's lacking something, and I can't quite figure out what that something is. I like the taste of the ranch and the barbecue together. That makes total sense. So it's smooth, but it also has a little tang to it. This is where I'm coming to you guys. If you feel like you have experience as a cook, or even if you don't, but you have an idea of what you would add to this, let me know. I'm thinking maybe some black beans or something. I feel like I'm missing an ingredient. And you know, it's me here. I could be missing an ingredient. Let's look. No, I'm not missing an ingredient. I'm gonna add some Cholula to it, because I feel like that might be what I'm missing. I feel like I want something a little spicier. See if that makes a difference. That's what it needed. I needed that little extra kick. Now it's delicious. So these are gonna be air fryer chicken nuggets, but we're making them with canned chicken. They've got some good ingredients. We need some grated Parmesan cheese for this, so I'm gonna use my little microplaner to get the finest grate on this. And I've got some more Parmesan cheese in the fridge if I need to get that out, but we need about 3 tablespoons. This will be plenty. So there we go. Okay, now what we need to do is open our canned chicken. We're gonna drain it, and then I'm going to pour it through here and squeeze any excess moisture out of it that I can. We don't want these to be liquidy, obviously. So let me go drain this and work on that. So this was a 12.5 ounce can of chicken, which is what the recipe calls for. I squeezed out as much of that excess moisture that I could. We're gonna add in 1 egg, about 1/3 cup of mozzarella, and we need about 3 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. 1, 2, I think that was about right. 3. And then at this point you can add any seasoning you'd like. Don't add salt because you've got a lot of salt in that chicken already. So I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a teaspoon, some black pepper, and just a little bit of smoked paprika. It'll give it a good smoky flavor. Maybe a 1/2 teaspoon, maybe not even that much. So I'll have to use my hands in just a minute, but to get it going, I'm going to use a fork. All right, I think that's pretty good. Now, this is supposed to make 12 chicken nuggets. So I need to form all of these and put them on a little plate. So let me do that. Excuse me, pardon me. You were in the way. That's okay. So you just kind of form it. Oh, I'm not even showing y'all. Kind of form it into the shape of a chicken nugget. We did it. 12 chicken nuggets. Okay, let me grab the air fryer. I'm gonna preheat mine. I was gonna say to 375, but we'll do 370. So let's let it do its thing. Our air fryer has preheated. Let's spritz it down with a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick. And now I need to very carefully put these chicken nuggets in here. They are stuck together, but not the best. Like this one feels like it's gonna fall apart. So I'm patting and like repatting it together. So I'm very skeptical. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm skeptical. But I'm gonna put them back in the air fryer. I think I said back in the air fryer. We're putting them in the air fryer. We're gonna try at 370. I'm gonna try 6 minutes to start. And then we'll go from there. Wish me luck. Okay, it's been 6 minutes. Let's see. Okay. I mean, I ain't mad at that. One of my subscribers sent me these little small tools, and I love this thing, especially for getting into small spaces like this. So let's see if I can get it out without crumbling it. Okay. That ain't bad. I had my doubts. You know, they've got egg in them, so I'm a little weary, but I feel like they're done. They're pretty substantial. Okay, substantial, is that the right word? I don't care. I don't care if it is. That's what we're going with. I'm going to use some Zax sauce for dipping. If you don't have a Zaxby's near you, I'm sorry. It's the best. Anyway, we keep extra Zax sauces here just in case. Just in case we ever make chicken nuggets here at home. And usually when I do chicken nuggets here at home, it's just the frozen kind. But, I mean, it looks like a little chicken nug, right? I made some little chicken nugs. Y'all want to try it?
I want to try it.
Okay, I got a whole family over here, y'all. You gonna pop in here too?
I'm gonna pop in real quick.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, a little crisp on the outside.
Okay.
Crisp.
I got us some Zax sauce to dip it in.
Mm-hmm. Smelling good. There we go. Fingers have burnt off. My fingers have burnt off. That's quite pleasant.
Not wow. That's quite pleasant.
That's good. I don't know what this is.
Careful now, it'll break.
It's like a cheesy little bit of crunch. Not too big of a crunch. Just a little texture. Mm-hmm.
Look at that hair. He just got out of the shower. It's wet. I ain't had one. Y'all just keep taking them out. Look.
How many did you make?
12. I'd like to have one out of the batch. Y'all can have the rest of them, but I'm gonna have one. Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, one's acceptable.
Okay, thanks. Gracie said, wow. Did mommy forget to give you cheese? Hey, unacceptable. Mozzarella cheese, y'all. It's still sitting out.
Good.
Here you go.
You did a good job.
Well, thanks. Can I take a bite?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and grab it.
Jeez Louise.
Mm-hmm. Not bad, is it?
I like the cheese in that.
It's the best chicken nugget I've ever had.
It's the best chicken nugget you've ever
It's
had?
It's like one of the best chicken nuggets I would have to say. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is better than anything you get out of that freezer. This is the way forward.
I was this close to calling it it a day when I was making these because I just did not have faith. But these two were telling me they are the best chicken nuggets they've ever had. Okay, hang on.
Is that like the thinness of them?
Yeah.
It won't do it. They can
Come here.
tell. They can tell.
I cannot believe they like this so much.
It's really, really good.
Air fryer. What did I do? 370 at 6 minutes.
I don't know, but this
Perfection.
air fryer keeps on delivering.
I'm telling you what. Okay, well, we're ending this video with the best recipe of them all, apparently. I cannot believe that they're so happy.
That's good.
I gotta fix your hair.
I'll fix my hair.
I'm your mama. That's what I do.
Oh, I just noticed. That was canned chicken, wasn't it?
It sure was.
I did not know that until I looked over here and saw.
It's canned
shredded.
chicken.
Man.
Can you believe
Did
that
you
that's
know
canned
that was
chicken?
canned chicken?
They're both in shock.
Yeah, that's pretty
This
cool.
is a good day, y'all. Good day.
Tonight I am making a barbecue chicken pizza. It's gonna take just a few minutes to assemble because we're using canned chicken and get it in the oven. Lou, you're very aggressive lately about the cheese, honey. I haven't even opened it yet. To get started, let's preheat the oven to 450. Okay, the original recipe for this calls for 1 chicken breast cooked. So that should be the amount in this 1 can. I did drain it. Let's just break it up a little bit. So we're gonna season with a little bit of smoked paprika. I'm just eyeballing this until it feels right, as my Nana would say. A little bit of garlic powder. Again, this recipe calls for salt and pepper, but we're just gonna go with pepper since this canned chicken already has some sodium added. Let's stir all of that up, get it good and coated. And then you're gonna go in with your favorite barbecue sauce. We have really grown to love this one. This is the Sweet and Spicy by Sweet Baby Ray's. You're gonna add in about 1/4 cup. There's gonna be more barbecue sauce on the pizza as the base, so don't worry about that. That's as difficult as it gets. Let's go prepare our pizza crust. Just because I'm taking the easy way out, I just went ahead and got one of these Pillsbury pizza crusts. This is my stone from Pampered Chef. Now we're just gonna spread some barbecue sauce across here, about 1/2 cup. You don't want to overdo it, but you wanna have it a little saucy. I don't know why I'm going in circles. I'm making it pretty. I'm just gonna take this basting brush and just kind of spread this out a little bit. I have shredded some Monterey Jack cheese. I did about 1/2 of that block. Gracie Lou, do you even like Monterey Jack cheese, honey? She said, I don't know, let me try. Here, you want some? Good gracious, honey. There, do you like it? And she does, of course she does. Next, let's add our barbecue chicken. I'm gonna try and spread it out pretty evenly. Now that we've got our cheese and our chicken on top of there, we're gonna add some sliced red onion. Of course, this is optional. The recipe calls for sliced jalapenos. I have some jalapenos, but I'm saving them for another recipe. And I had some extra poblano peppers on hand, so we're using the poblano today. And if you don't know, poblano is not quite as spicy as jalapeno. So if you don't love hot, this would probably be a good option for you too. That's it, y'all. This is going in a 450-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. We're just gonna keep an eye on it. You just got me for the taste test. Steven is on a call unexpectedly. He's not feeling his greatest either. He's got a little bit of a headache. Cole is leaving, so it's just me and the pizza. Let's give this thing a try. That's good. That's really good. But you know what? This is very controversial. And I usually don't go controversial here on my channel. But we about to. Hold on. You know what would make it even better? Pineapple. I said what I said. Yes, pineapple belongs on pizza. You ask my husband, he says no, it does not. I love it. And I think pineapple on this would be so good because it would have that sweet along with all the savory. I think your whole family would love this, pineapple or no pineapple, but let's chat about it in the comments.
I love a good chicken salad, and I'm always looking for different chicken salads, and this one caught my eye. It is called a lemon basil chicken salad. It uses some pesto and some fresh basil. It sounds so fresh and right up our alley. So let's make it. As always, I need to drain this, so let me do that. Let's chop up some fresh basil. I believe we need about 2 tablespoons. I love the smell of fresh basil. Gracie loves the smell of canned chicken. This girl. All right, let's give her another little bite.
Oh.
It's pretty salty, so I don't give her a lot of this. Don't worry. There you go. So let me finish chopping this. I've got a cat down here begging for more. That's it, girlfriend. No, that's it. Sorry. And then we need the juice of half a lemon, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop this in half. Okay. Now, let's assemble. I kind of reached in there with my knife and chopped this up a little bit, but let's dump that in there. Shh. So we're gonna take half the lemon that still has the sticker on it and add that juice in. It is not giving a ton of juice. Why ain't you juicy? Let's do a little bit more. That's better. Okay. We need a 1/4 cup of mayo. We need a couple of tablespoons of pesto sauce. Oh, no, not a couple of tablespoons. Woo, woo, that could have been disastrous. A couple of teaspoons. So 1, 2. Let's add in our fresh basil. We need about 2 tablespoons of fresh basil. And then we need a couple of tablespoons of sliced almonds as well. And then we're just gonna do salt and pepper to taste. So let me mix it up first. Smell-o-vision. Oh, that smells very nice. Okay, taste test time. Oh, it doesn't need salt. I am gonna add a little pepper. But my goodness, that flavor is good. Oh man. I was cracking pepper in here with the lid on. You know, I'm so special. Okay, let's put this on. I'm throwing chicken. What is happening here? Let's put this on a cracker. Hold please. Who's complaining all the way down the hall?
I hurt my foot just by walking.
Mama. Oh, my foot. My mama gets that. She gets it. It's an inside joke. So I've got these crackers here. We're just gonna use, oh, look, it says crackers. We're gonna use these saltines. Don't be like that.
Don't rush me. Can't rush greatness.
I was just about to say that. We're special.
Here we are. All right.
Tink. Are you put a hole in your mouth?
That is delicious. Another one. Is there like some kind of nuts or something in there?
There's almonds in there too.
That's what that is. Talk about like a little nice texture surprise in there with the almonds. I haven't had a chicken salad like this. It's like a chicken salad.
Yeah. How do you fit that whole thing in your mouth all at once and not choke?
4 words for you.
Have you seen me? I knew that's what you were thinking. Pop it like aspirin tablet. Is that what you're thinking?
Pop my aspirin tablet. Did you see me counting?
Mm-hmm.
That's how fast my brain waves move. And just barely creeping.
That's what happens when you're almost,
creeping.
what, 45?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a wife who just thanks for you.
Who thanks for you?
Yeah.
I do think for you.
I
I do everything for you.
Praise God. I'm happy.
Are you getting another cracker?
I mean, I ain't had but 2.
I mean, this is one of my favorite chicken
This
salads
is
I've ever had.
delicious. Yeah.
very
I
light.
haven't had a chicken salad like this.
Gracie's back there complaining.
Good job. Can I have one more? No. Okay. I'll be all right. I'll be okay.
You can have all you want, baby.
Baby said, slow down, boy.